Misfits 13. The 13th event for Misfits Boxing, the most controversial event in Misfits history. If you guys haven't been tuning in, and what I do mean by the most controversial is, last night in Nashville, Misfits has been swatted, and pretty much we had to wait for 1 to 2 hours to watch the fight. The fight stopped in between the second round of Yeti Gang versus Lil Cray Cray. It stopped between the second round. Basically, after that, we had to wait 2 hours because the SWAT team was inside of the arena trying to sort everything out. But everything's fine now. The event went through. Well, kind of went through. But basically, we're going to be showing our reaction. And I couldn't really find the fights, so I'm going to be reacting to this through Wade Plem. If you guys don't know who he is, make sure you go shout out to him. Wade Concept, he's pretty much the smartest boxing YouTube influencer, boxing, whatever. He's the smartest boxing analyst I know. So big up Wade, and we finna get into this video.
So Misfits 13. This is one of the cards that will probably live in influencer boxing infamy. It just went down. A lot of things that can be fixed, but overall a completely chaotic and discombobulated night of influencer boxing, one that needs big time change. What do I mean? What just happened? The breakdown. Let's go. All right, so like I said, Misfits 13, unlucky number 13 you could call it, because that was one of the things that's involved with this card, but there's also some others. The fight card started with Vitaly and Modine.
Speaking of Vitaly and Modine, bro, that was the most trashiest fight I've ever seen on Misfits ever, bro. Like, what were the two men doing, bro? What were they doing in that ring, bro? They should have not been in that ring. I know I seen Vitaly fight, one time, Christian Hamby. That fight was terrible too. But Vitaly and Modine, bro, that fight was absolute garbage, and I'm gonna keep saying it's garbage. It was garbage.
There is a potential issue already in that fight because about halfway through the second round or something, Vitaly wins. I wasn't watching super closely because there wasn't much to watch. It was not really a fight. Modine didn't throw a punch, but Vitaly won.
But it's not. This is what I'm talking about, bro. They don't know what they're doing, and they don't know what they're doing in this ring, and it messes with me so bad that they have this entire platform, and instead of just sitting on their butts streaming all day, they could just be in the gym trying to perfect this craft, giving a reason to people to come, because the fight had a lot of hype. And did it live to its hype? Did people expect this? Yes, people expected Vitaly and Modine to be trash. I definitely expected it, but it would have been way much more entertaining if these two actually took the sport seriously. And I was gonna say Modine looks like he had a condom on his head, so that's what I was gonna say, and that's what it kind of looks like. It looks like he just took a condom off his head. Let me look at it. Let me go back. You see? Look like he had a condom on his head.
On his own stream, essentially saying that he was refusing to do a drug test. This is not me lying. This is
this whole thing. This is another thing, man. You can't refuse to do a drug test. It's required to do a drug test. I don't know if Misfits did it or not, but drug testing should be before fights instead of after the fights. I do not know why Vitaly is getting his drug test after the fight. It's kind of dumb, but especially since after he won, they could just reverse it, even though they found steroids in him, which we all know Vitaly has taken steroids in the past. But he could have just done that, man. They could have just done it before the fight. Top of that, Vitaly just straight out admitted that he takes testosterone, and I think he said 150 cc. But man, it's not a good look. It's not a good look at all.
And what if I say no to the test? Not like I'm scared, but what if I'm already disqualified?
The commission makes the decision.
But it's not a professional boxing match. What kind of commission? Snake. They just want Misfits. Once their views, they're just trying to fucking expose me here. I'm telling my viewers in my last.
Nobody's trying to expose you, Vitaly. Best believe nobody's trying to expose you. It's required, my boy. It's required. You're supposed to do this, but it doesn't matter either way. Even if you are, if you're not on steroids, you're still trash. So, hey.
I say it in every stream. I prescribe testosterone, baby. 150 cc a week. But you're not gonna find drugs. You should test me for drugs. Maybe you Photoshop it to put my fucking comeback down.
And that's kind of where this thing fell off the wagon a bit, because you have a fighter openly saying they're just refusing to be tested, and that would indicate that they refuse to be tested before the fight. And I know you can't test everyone, but a guy that's openly admitting to doing testosterone and probably some other stuff in the past would probably be the one guy you want to test for PEDs in a boxing. Anyway, the next fight on the night had,
as I said,
probably the fight of the night, which was Alexia Grace and Nikki Haru, or Nikki Rue is what I think is how you pronounce her. Nikki, I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. I'm not saying, I'm just
it's Nikki Rue, Wade. It's Nikki Rue. And on top of that, I don't know what you're trying to get at, but it's Rue. But this fight, before I get into it, I would say it is the fight of the night. If the Yeti Gang versus Cray fight had continued, I would have said that was the fight of the night. But he is right. I do give this the fight of the night. It did do good. Alexia, all I gotta say is that she has she got a chin, boy. She got a chin.
And you got a fan in me, because she came out, and both girls did, by the way, swinging hammers.
Yeah.
I'm talking the most entertaining, not necessarily the most.
Rue was landing that overhand right like it was just a hammer, and Alexia was eating it.
Actual stakes. They took pride in themselves and the fight and the promotion and the event. They wanted to be there. And Nikki was landing big time shots off her back foot. Boom, boom, right hand down the pipe. No body shots, but that's okay, because listen, that takes time and experience, and she doesn't have a lot of that yet, but she gets the win.
Who was the better fighter? I got Rue. Rue was the better fighter, and of course it got her the victory. Alexia, I kind of feel bad for her, because both of her fights on Misfits were title fights, and they were really close fights, especially the Astrid Wet one. I think everybody says Alexia won the Astrid Wet fight. I think, me personally, that fight was a draw, to be at least. That's what I think.
Alexia Grace very upset. I understand that. It was a close fight. Still, a fun fight nonetheless, and one that you can move forward saying, you know what? That was a great start to the card. Let's kick this thing off right. Just after that, you have Joey Knight, who came in Misfits lightweight tournament. This should have been the main event, or at least the co-main. The next fight.
He is a problem, bro.
Should have been the main event.
Joey Knight is. I'm gonna stop. Pausing after this. Joey Knight is a problem, bro. He is a problem, and I've been saying this since he beat Most Wanted. He is a problem. Most Wanted wasn't that good. He never had a single fight, but judging from the experience Joey Knight has and the background he has, he is no joke, bro. He can't be underestimated. Yuddy can't underestimate him. Waleed can't underestimate him. None of these guys can't underestimate this guy, because he is one of the best, if not the best lightweight on Misfits. Even if he doesn't have that belt wrapped around his waist, he is one of the best ones. And I personally think if he fights Dean, it won't end well for Dean. That's my opinion.
To talk about all that in a second, but Joey Knight and Baby Hull, one of the preliminary fights for the Misfits lightweight tournament. Fun fight, but I had a feeling we all knew where this was going to go. With Joey Knight by domination. That's exactly what it was. Beautiful boxing.
Hulk ain't really a boxer, man.
He is talented. He has more charisma than
He's
most
more
guys
of
that you don't see come up as an influencer
a
before they start
wrestler
boxing.
and
He
street
has something
beast.
special. You need to focus on Joey Knight if you're Misfits. I'll say it again in case they're listening. Focus on Joey Knight.
Exactly,
Potential
man.
star. Then we come
Exactly.
to the issue with the card, and that was the unfortunate and
Don't
scary
underestimate
bomb
him.
threat. I just want you guys to realize how insane the words that I just said out of my mouth are. Misfits
What
had
did you
a
say?
bomb threat on
yeah.
the venue. Not only that, they had to evacuate people from the venue. Not only that, they had to evacuate fighters, everyone from the venue.
Yeah, this is what I was
While
talking
there was
about.
a
I
fight
think
going on, Yuddy
I think
Gang
Aiden
was
Ross
in the ring.
was against
Round
this.
1 and 2 done, and I'm starting to see people file out from the venue, and I'm thinking to myself, what?
Hold on, let me pause this. I think Aiden Ross had some. I think Aiden Ross's fans had something to do with this, bro, because his Aiden Ross's event was on the. If you guys didn't know, Aiden Ross has new promotions called Brand Risk Promotions, and his fight was exactly on the same day as Misfits 13. So he had a couple people fighting on there. Well, I didn't watch it, and I didn't want to watch it because those are nobodies. On top of that, it's Aiden Ross. It's just him. But I think personally, his fans had something to do with this, especially since I saw the tweets. I can't pull it up, but there was a tweet saying that, there's Doc's Misfits or something like that. That's crazy.
What is happening? Why are people in droves leaving
Crazy,
the event
man.
while the fight's happening? And then all of a sudden, it isn't just the crowd. It isn't just the fans. It's the equipment people. It is the commentators. It is the fighters all being escorted out of the venue. And we're all sitting here in disbelief wondering what the fuck just happened. Sure enough, we find out there was a bomb scare. Rumors are out there on to who caused it. Right now, there is no definitive answer, at least not.
Oh yeah. I heard that idiot Modine was standing up top of the Misfits arena and doing dances with somebody. That was so funny, bro. When I heard that Modine he was over here doing dances on top of the Misfits arena, bro. That was so funny, bro. I do not know how he got down, how he got up there, or how he got back down, but that was jokes, bro. That was jokes. He may be an idiot, but he funny, bro. He funny. I gotta give it to him. He funny.
So I don't want to say it was this person or that person. Genuinely, I have no idea. But regardless, it's fucked up to do, and it's a scumbag move.
We all know who it was,
Anyone,
and
not just an
it
event like Misfits,
it was
which
clear
gets a lot of
to
attention
who
because
it
is a
was.
massive event and there's multiple people involved. Thank God everyone was safe. Doing shit like this is scumbaggery, and you're a punk if you do it. I don't care who you are. Jail time is the only answer for that kind of stuff. So they end up not continuing the Yuddy and Cray Cray
Death
fight, which I
time
think
is
was
the
the
only
best
answer
idea
for
because
that.
Doing that
Can't
after
do stuff
waiting
like
that
that.
long and trying to come back in the middle of like
People's
going
lives
into
are
the
in the
round after
way.
sitting off for an hour between round 2 and 3. It was not a good idea. Right decision made there from Misfits. Don't do it. But then you get the Taylor Holder and DWG Earth fight. And this was an interesting fight because you had Taylor Holder
Yeah,
coming
Taylor
back from
Holder.
a long layoff, didn't really know what he was going to present. Doing it on 5 days or 3 days notice, and we'll get a reason for that later. But the main point was, okay, let's get this dress rehearsal essentially out of the way for Taylor Holder so that him and Bryce Hall can fight. That was the entire, at least, talk of the community, right? Something I want to
Yeah.
see. Those two former friends, now
Yeah.
rivals.
I wanna
You
see
where I'm
that
going
fight,
with
bro.
this. That wasn't the way this went down. Fair play to DWG of Earth. The man is a telepath. He is spiritual, lyrical, miracle,
Yeah.
but he got in there and he fought. In his first fight ever, he had a good jab. He was sticking.
I ain't gonna lie, for a rookie, he kind of did good. I mean, I'm a rookie too, but for a rookie in his first fight, you gotta respect something. You gotta respect him. His cardio was absolute terrible. He was a 1 round guy, but if he, takes it seriously and if he, actually goes in the gym and has the right people around him, that cardio and his skills could be a major problem for people on Misfits, for the cruiserweight division especially, because he was giving Taylor Holder some problems. Whether some people like it or not, he was giving Holder some problems. Holder, was struggling in that first round, and then he later found how to get past it.
It on Taylor. He came for it. He looked like he wanted to be in there, and he trained a little bit. And for Taylor, listen, again, you can talk about the ring rust of being off for however many years now. You can talk about him not being in camp and not training for this fight at all, and those are massive, massive factors that I think absolutely affected his performance. But, you know, you did see some things that Taylor can still work on, things that he still struggles with now that he struggled with in the Give fight, being on the center line, his chin being up in the air, not moving off that center line.
That's the thing we gotta respect about Misfits, bro. Despite all of these, you know, some of these garbage fights that happen on the card, they do got some influencers who do fight like professionals, and I mean that.
And got the job done, big time stoppage, got on the ropes, and his whole team is calling out Bryce Hall, who's sitting ringside. That is the fight to make. Again, we're going to talk about it in a second. There needs to be a big switch of direction for Misfits. One of the big ways you can do that is going all the way back to what Misfits and influencer boxing want to find, where it started, what the original plan and plot of the scene was. Real, ingrained beef between two big names. Taylor Holder, Bryce Hall fits that mold perfectly. Chase that field. And then we had Jake Boswick and Chris Avila, and this is, again, one of the things that is unfortunate for Misfits, but is not a great look, because you had Chris Avila, Jake Boswick, fun fight. Chris Avila wins. Pretty dominant win for Chris Avila. After watching it back a second time, it looked pretty smooth win for him. But fun fight, two good professionals, and then Chris Avila, you guys know he's from Nate Diaz camp, 209, Nick Diaz Army. He's going to speak his mind. And obviously he felt a little upset by, one, the fact that there was a bomb threat and he had to sit around and wait before his fight. And two, I think...
What's good, my efforts? I like to sit around all day, smoke my cocaine, sniff my cocaine, smoke my weed, you feel me? Go to the UFC, you know, beat the S out of Conor McGregor. I also like to sit around all day, not give a crap. I also have PSTDs in my brain. I can't comprehend properly, and that's how Nate Diaz is. that's legit how Nate Diaz acts. You can't tell me otherwise.
The fight was ruled a split decision and not a unanimous. He was pissed. Got on the mic and essentially, well, he said this.
Definitely. I don't know about Misfits. No disrespect, but this is a goofy ass show, man. There's a lot of stupid shit going on, but
that right there is a terrible. The fighter that just won on your promotion turns the gun on the promoter and says, "Fuck you guys," and this is a goof show, or y'all are a bunch of goofballs. That cannot happen. And
That's
something like that does happen, and what happens in the main event is gonna be telling. That, again, we'll talk about. But Misfits allowing guys like that, whether they're good fighters or not, to walk all over their promotion and disrespect them is not the look you want to have. You can't have these fighters disrespecting the promotion. You just can't. I don't know, Mams Taylor's a nice guy, and he wants to make relationships work, and loyalty is great and all that, but some of these fighters don't respect them. They don't take them seriously. So that's when you get moments like that from Chris Avila.
Yeah.
Fuck all this. Fuck this goof show and Misfits and all.
The tag team.
Great look. It buries the promotion and it buries the event.
Yeah. The tag team to me is a little goofy. The 2-on-1s, the 3-on-1s, the survivor tags. It's fun, but I'm gonna be honest, man. If I wanna sit down here and watch, you know, somebody like Yeti Gang or Waleed or Dean or KSI fight, or even Jake Paul, even though I don't like him, if I want to sit down and watch them fight, I don't want to see no tag teams on that card, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Let the tag teams, you know, give the tag teams, you know, another card. Maybe after the fight, or, you know, after the fight card, or, you know, before the fight card. But don't put it on the fight card, bro. Because that just, especially if something goes wrong and people are expecting these people to pop up like Most Wanted, because he was talking mad crap, especially if you expect them to pop up and they don't, that's embarrassing, bro. So to me, the tag team is kind of a gimmick. It shouldn't be main or co-main event or even on the undercard. It should be, you know, as a separate event, in my opinion.
Well, speaking of burying the event, oh my God, the main event was an absolute train wreck. And I said this from the beginning, so I don't want people to think that I'm out here just talking shit. This was a gimmick main event, 2-on-1 outnumbered match. You had Fox being the most recognizable and him not being a massive name in influencer boxing, and two other names that were relatively small names and not recognizable by most people in influencer boxing in your main event. That was, in my mind, strike number one for not creating a buzzworthy ending.
Hey, you can't insult Most Wanted like that, bro. I know Most Wanted. You know, even though he talks a lot of crap, and I like him. Me personally, he talks a lot of crap, like I said, and he needs to learn some lessons on taking your opponent seriously, and not everything is about just talking crap. He needs to back up everything he says, because these are people, whether you like it or not. Fox is on another maturity level as you. He actually takes this sport seriously. He actually takes the sport seriously. He actually goes and trains. I hear he literally left his hometown just to come to England and train with his coach. He left everything. He quit school. He left his family, his friends, his girlfriend, just to come over to England. That's what dedication is. And me personally, I like Most Wanted, like I said, but I don't think he's really dedicated, in my opinion. That's my opinion.
Your card. The reason people are there to see the last fight of the night. Number two, I've told you guys this for a year now, that gimmicks at some point will run you into the ground, especially
it gets me annoying. That's
to have people focus on the gimmick.
Man. That's exactly why I do not.
People come to the venue.
This is gonna be my last time pausing it. This is exactly why I did not like Misfits 05. The 5th Misfits event, this is exactly why I didn't like Misfits 5, because it was a whole gimmick. The card was not entertaining at all whatsoever. In fact, the only gimmick, the card was a gimmick, but the only really gimmick fight there was the tag team. And it's sad to say that one gimmick fight saved the whole entire event from crumbling, because that was the only entertaining match on Misfits 5. That was low-key the only entertaining match, and it saved the whole event. But it's still a gimmick though.
You have 25 different gimmicks, and again, that's fine to have in some cases, but when it's expected, it doesn't deliver. It makes that thing less exciting the next time and the next time and the next time. So I've always been on the idea that instead of promoting the type of match and getting people familiar with that, you use that time to build names, to put names in that spot. And I know that's not easy. That is the way forward. This is why I said gimmicks shouldn't be in your main event. Make it about the fighters, put the attention on them, not the match type. This is why I said earlier in the video that Joey Knight or Yuddy Gang and Lil Cray Cray in that main or co-main spot would have been perfect for this card. It would not have hurt business in any
especially for Yuddy Gang, man, because Yuddy, he got like over millions of followers, so it would have been good for him.
You're building to see who's going to be crowned winner. You make them a main event now, they will feel like main eventers when they're crowned as champion. But instead, you get the 2-on-1 main event that quickly became a 1-on-1 main event about 1 minute, 2 minutes before the main event was about to start. That's because one person in the most evil tag team, Most Wanted, unfortunately got stage fright and completely froze up.
I just couldn't walk. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't do nothing.
Was it just the nerves getting to you?
Yes.
And where were those nerves?
Damn,
before Joey
Most.
I didn't have none of them at all.
What I'm not going to do is dogpile this. Clearly had some anxiety about fighting. I can attest to what he was feeling in that moment. It's unfortunate. It's sad. I feel bad for him. And of course, you could maybe point to the bomb threat being a part of that and whatever else. But you're there to do a job. And you've been given this opportunity.
Fight.
He even says in that video that it was $10,000 to fight on this card. You've been entrusted in the main event. That means there's a lot riding on your shoulders, but you're also expected to deliver. And that is, again, a massive, in my opinion, misstep by Misfits. Not because it's Most Wanted, but because in this influencer boxing scene.
That is a lot of money.
To start
Well,
thinking about who we're
for me
putting
it
on this
is.
card and we're putting in positions of
$10,000.
and to be able to deliver in those moments. That's just the nature of the beast. Stars deliver. People that have experience in those moments, that's why you put them there. And sure, people grow to that point, but in their second fight in a main event ever, it was never a good idea. And I'm sorry, you can put the unlucky 13 and the bomb there, all that.
Yeah, man.
This was Misfits' fault, 100%. You don't do this as a main event fight, and you have to hold their feet to the fire on that. That's just unfortunate.
I
things
feel
happen
like
in this card, yes, but things that could have been different and things that should have been different were absolutely this main event. Because not only does Most Wanted not walk out, you have Evil Hero who does walk out.
And he got
They start the
beat.
fight. Evil Hero versus Fox the G. Fox, who, by the way, has been training his ass off, been committed, been taking this seriously. Again, all the markers that check what you want to have on your card, a fighter that's going to be there, take his job seriously, train hard. Obviously, the promotion stuff needs to be there, but does all the things he needs to do just to get in that ring. And about a minute and a half in, Evil Hero takes a knee and claims he's been hit in the back of the head. They stop the fight, and there is just this deflation of, oh, what are we doing here? That's the end of the event. Influencer boxing took a massive hit tonight, and I don't know how big that will look or how big it will affect things going forward, but there needs to be change. Absolutely. If anything tonight taught you things about influencer boxing,
I already know Jake Paul gonna be all over this if he gets asked about it.
Forward,
I already know.
Let's reach for whatever kind of match type we can. Ideas in the main event is going to run it into the ground. It will. And I understand you don't have all the biggest names all the time, and you have to improvise and do things. And I'm not wanting to do that. I don't envy Mams Taylor being the matchmaker, CEO. I don't envy that because I couldn't do it. I'm not going to sit here and say that I could or want to. I don't. There was just a clear difference here tonight with this Misfits event from any other one before that. This was the worst one because it felt like no one cared. Two of your main event fighters, one had an anxiety attack but still couldn't make it into the ring. The other didn't care to actually show up and fight. Modine didn't throw one single punch in his entire time he was in there. Vitaly didn't care enough to even stay clean for the card. He refused to be tested for drugs after it, a mandatory VADA test. Chris Avila obviously didn't care about what was going on there. He just said, fuck Misfits, and this is a goof show. A level of respect.
Nate Diaz Jr., that's what Avila is. Nate Diaz Jr.
That has to change. These fighters don't take the promotion seriously, and I don't know why that is. Maybe it's the promotion not taking itself seriously enough. I don't know. Something has to change there, and also something about the way you make fights and who you're giving these opportunities to on these cards has to change. You can't have people with one fight, no, and I mean no social media following, no reason to be in a main event, to be in your main event. This is not a shot at anybody personally, and definitely not at most, but can't rely on someone that doesn't have the ability to be in those moments and perform. It's just the truth. You can't do that. That's why these people that have followings and have been in big moments and have been in front of a lot of people and have been on a big stage before are a little bit more trustworthy in those moments because they understand pressure to deal with. And this shouldn't even have to be said, but the business reasons for doing something like that make no sense either because no one was watching this card for the gimmick match in the main event. You were watching for Vitaly because he's got a big name, or Fox because you wanted to see him and he's got a bigger name than he had before.
I was watching for Yeti.
Showed he can knock someone out on Misfits. Or you wanted to see
Fox.
the lightweight tournament. Or maybe some BKFC people and MMA fans wanted to see, you know, a product of Nick Diaz's Army and Jake Boswick on the card. The biggest names, the biggest reasons you tuned into this card, none of them were your main event. That's a problem. So yeah, I mean, that's really it, man. This was, like I said, it was a disappointment. It was a rough night for influencer boxing. And as far as where they go next, things have to change. Mams Taylor's acknowledged that. He says we're going to make this 10 times bigger now. We have to. It's something's got to change.
Yeah, man.
KSI in a now deleted tweet tweeted at Aiden and was like, thanks for the fire. I needed that. Like, even the promoters themselves, you can tell they knew this one fell flat. Things have to change. What will that be? I don't have those answers. Quite frankly, dealing with that is not something I want. So
Yeah, man. If Misfits, you know, even though I want to be on Misfits someday, that's why I'm doing this. You know, I'm training currently right now, but I'm gonna get into more of that later on. But pretty much, if Misfits, wants to do better, do not put these gimmick fights as main or co-main event. Is only gonna make things worse, especially when you got somebody like Most Wanted. Well, no offense to Most Wanted, somebody like Most Wanted, Evil Hero, who have never been main event before. Top of that, they've only been on Misfits one or twice. They can't possibly get adjusted to this stage that quickly. Especially Most, I feel sorry for him because he's never had a single amateur fight a day in his life. Top of that, last fight he got knocked out in front of 3,000, 6,000 people. Not even 6,000. Wait, I think so, but he got knocked out in front of thousands of people at the arena last month in January. But it's sad, man. Like, Misfits needs to do better, and I do believe truly that if they, get rid of some of these gimmicks, and if they let, they have a card to put these gimmick fights on, then it'll be way much more better, man. It'll be way much more better. Cause I low key don't want to see any tag teams on Misfits after this, as of right now, because of what just happened. I expected Fox to go in there and pretty much beat the living dog out of both of them. Not only Most, but Evil Hero as well. I wanted Fox to win, and he did win, but he only beat up one guy, and it was supposed to be two. But hey, that's all. That's all I gotta say for that, man. Misfits, it is what it is. I don't even say this was the worst event. I just simply say, it was just meh. It was meh, man. It was meh. Misfits 5 was the worst Misfits event, but Misfits 13 was just kind of unprofessional because you got Avila, Nate Diaz's son, who pretty much comes over here, who does not care. He's like Nate Diaz. He doesn't care what he says. He pretty much comes on here and says, this and that. This wasn't it. Top of that, I heard that he had to switch gloves mid before he fought because he was wearing the long gloves, which is kind of messed up. But man, it's kind of embarrassing. But it's been your boy GXN. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment, and share. My next video will be a reaction video, probably to some, I don't know, probably a try not to laugh. I'm still figuring out because my week is pretty much booked as of right now. So yeah, man, it's been your boy, and I'm out. Peace.